Now let's learn. Today is cold.
今天很冷。
Now let's learn. Today. Ready?
今天，
Let's hear it again.
今天，
Nice. Now practice saying. Today.
今天，
Let's hear you say. Very.
很，
This is how you say. Cold.
冷的，
Now, how do you say? Cold.
冷的，
Nice. Now practice saying. Today.
今天，
Now, how do you say? Cold.
冷的，
The word
很，
has multiple meanings and usages. It can be translated as very, but is also often used to connect a noun and an adjective. For example, you can use
我很好。
to indicate I'm good. Note also that when you describe something with adverbs or adjectives, usually the verb
是，
to be gets dropped. Using what you've learned, try to say, Today is cold.
今天很冷。
The word order for time in Mandarin is different than English. The time can be placed either before or after the subject. For example, the way to say, I'm cold today can be,
今天我很冷。
or,
我今天很冷。
let's learn how to say, hot.
热的，
Remember this? Say, hot.
热的，
Now try and say, morning.
早上，
Can you figure out how to say, this morning, which will literally translate to, today morning? Now, can you figure out the best way to say, this morning is hot?
今天早上很热。
Here is how you would say, Beijing.
北京，
Nice. Now practice saying, Beijing.
北京，
Now, how do you think you would say, Beijing is hot today?
北京今天很热。
How do you say, this morning is hot?
今天早上很热。
Nice. Now practice saying, Beijing is hot today.
北京今天很热。
Listen and repeat the following,
冬天，
which means winter. What's the way to say winter?
冬天，
Up for a challenge? How would you say, the winter is cold?
冬天很冷。
China is a country with wide-ranging climatic conditions. Summer can be extremely hot, while winter can be extremely cold. Therefore, the most comfortable season of the year is autumn, because the temperature can be reasonable. Spring can also be delightful, with the average temperatures roughly the same as in autumn. How do you say, this morning is hot?
今天早上很热。
Nice. Now practice saying, Beijing is hot today.
北京今天很热。
Nice. Now practice saying, the winter is cold.
冬天很冷。
Using what you've learned, see if you can figure out how to say, the winter is too cold.
冬天太冷了。
How do you say, this morning is hot?
今天早上很热。
Nice. Now practice saying, Beijing is hot today.
北京今天很热。
Nice. Now practice saying, the winter is cold.
冬天很冷。
Do you remember how to say, the winter is too cold?
冬天太冷了。
Let's learn how to say of.
的
The particle
的
appears between the possessor and the possessed. It is similar to the usage of or apostrophe s in English. Based on what you have already learned, can you figure out how to say the winter in Beijing? Literally, you're saying Beijing's winter.
《北京的冬天》
Nice. Now practice saying Beijing is hot today.
北京今天很热。
Nice. Now practice saying the winter is cold.
冬天很冷。
Do you remember how to say the winter is too cold?
冬天太冷了。
Now try and say the winter in Beijing.
北京的冬天。
Remember this? Say hot.
热的。
Remember this? Say this morning.
今天早上。
Nice. Now practice saying Beijing.
北京。
What's the way to say winter?
冬天。